Hi everyone, and welcome back to Crafting with Purple. Today I wanted to show you a origami butterfly, and the reason I was showing you this is that I was needing to make some bows for some gifts coming up for August when I'm at the Sparkle Speedway, and I wanted to do something that was butterfly themed. So I came across a couple great videos for using dollar bills to make butterflies. And here's a dollar bill, actually it's $2 bills to make this butterfly. But I didn't really want to make the butterflies out of money. I wanted them to be a bow. So I wanted to utilize paper instead. And so this is made out of origami paper, but any paper would do. And of course I didn't have anything that was rectangular in shape like my dollar bills. So let me show you how I take care of that by utilizing a square. And while it's not the same dimensions as a dollar bill, it still works perfectly for this butterfly. And this will make a great bow, or I could have used this as an embellishment on a hat if I wanted to. If I shellacked it, it'll last longer. So anyways, really simple to make. All right, so what do? We need to start off with a square sheet of paper. And again, anything will do. If you're practicing, a square sheet of magazine paper is perfect for this. Magazine paper works great for origami. I need to have two rectangles. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and fold my paper in half, lining up my edges, making a nice crease. And then I need to cut this into two rectangles. And I'm just going to take care of that really quick. It doesn't have to be perfect on the edge. This is one of those crafts that's actually very forgiving, and I didn't go all the way across. So I have my two rectangles here, and they're just slightly different, almost a dollar bill shape. A little bit different in dimensions, but this works perfectly. The folds are the same for the top and bottom with a slight modification. So in general, I'm off to the side. I'm over here. Anyways, so here's our first rectangle, and we're going to first start off by making the top portion of our wings. Okay, so here's our top, and then the second will become our bottom. All right, so what do we need to do? Super simple. The first step is we're going to fold our paper in half lengthwise. And seam it down the center. Okay, we're going to open it up, we're going to turn it around, and we're going to fold it in half again so that we can find our center for our wings. It'll make it easier later after we have all of our folds. And make a really nice crease. Whenever you're making creases, try to, in this case, we're going to make them really nice, okay? I open it up, so I basically have 4 quadrants. And again, I'm just going to fold this like this. This is going to become our wings when we're done, but we need to shape them. All right, so the first thing we need for our wings is points. So it's really simple. And again, you're probably going to be working towards you, so I'll turn the paper this way. And there's a center line here. You may not be able to see it here on the screen. Here, I'll tilt it so you can see it. But there's a center line, that's our crease. And all we're going to do is take our point and bring it over so it's like a triangle. And we're going to match it up to that line. And let me turn it so that I'm working towards myself. It's easier for me. And I'm going to make a point. Okay. And then I'm going to do that on the other half. And I'm going slowly so that you can follow along with me. Okay. And there we have our first point to our first wing. We need to turn this around now and do it again to the other half. Or not to the other half, to the other side. Again, we fold down one side to make one half, and then we'll fold the other to make our other point, okay? I'll bring this. So notice I did the folds all on the same side, okay? I'm now going to go ahead and we've already got the fold there. I'm just going to go ahead and fold it in half and reinforce my fold because there's some extra fold there. And now we're going to basically do an accordion fold or a pleat fold. Now, some people just start at one edge and work their way across, but since we're not using money, we have no lines to figure out where we need to fold, and I hate to measure. So for those of you who know me, if I don't have to measure, I won't. So the easiest way to do this, and I like folding up and away from me, so I'm going to turn this around so it's towards me again. This is probably towards you, but I'm off here to the side. So I'm going to fold it so it's off to me. And I'm just going to take this top layer and I'm going to fold it up to the top edge. So I'm basically folding this top layer in half. And try to be as exact and as straight as you can. And you want to fold it nice away and cross. Okay, everything's going to be symmetric on this piece. So let's flip her over. We're going to do a lot of flipping in this. And let's go ahead and fold this short end up to the long end. So we just take that short end, we match it up to the top, and we smooth it down, make a really nice sharp crease. Okay. Now again, because I like to fold up and away from me, I'm going to turn this around because it just makes it easier for me. I'm going to take my top layer, okay, again, the short end up to the top, and make a really nice crease. What are we going to do? We're going to flip her over, and again, the short end up to the top or the long end, and we're just doing the topmost layer. So there's that topmost layer, and we're going to fold that up. Okay, so we've got something that looks like this. I'm going to show you different angles. Okay, now I want to make it all accordion pleated, so I have one more fold, and that's the inside. Okay, the inside that I need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up at that center fold. Okay, so if I looked over here, it looks like I've got two layers, like a little short layer. Same thing on the other side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my top most layer, the short end. This time though, instead of going all the way up to the top, I'm just going into the center. Okay. And this bottom fold, because it's folded, it's going to come up with it. Okay, we've got one side done. It's all accordioned. Okay, it's all accordioned. I'm going to turn this around. And again, just the topmost layer. If you really want to hold on to the bottom, you can, but it's a little easier just to grab the topmost layer. And we're going right to that center line. Okay. And if we folded everything down, you're going to have a pattern that looks similar to this. Okay. Now to finish our accordion fold, it'll make sense when you're looking at it. You can't fold in, because if you fold in, that's not an accordion. You actually are going to need to fold this middle now away from you, which is not the way it was originally folded, but that's to make the accordion. Okay, and I just take my fingers, smooth everything down, and if you notice on mine, the edges aren't perfectly lined up, and it's okay. And we already have that center fold, so, and there's our top wings. All right, now we're going to do the exact same thing for the bottom, except let's look at our model. My bottom wings are actually smaller than my top wings. So we have two options. We can either cut the rectangle a little bit smaller, but there's no need to do that. Okay, so what do? We're going to take the other half of our square, and we're going to start exactly the same way. We fold it in half lengthwise and make our center fold. Open it up, and we're going to fold it the other direction. That'll make that crease for the wings. Okay, Now I need to shorten it up. So how do I shorten up this wingspan? Well, I just fold over my edge. Now, I need to fold over about 1/3. I don't need to measure, so I can just eyeball it and say, yeah, that's more or less 1/3. Okay, so 2/3, oops, 2/3, 1/3. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half because I want the other side to basically be about the same, and I just fold it over. That way it matches up. And when I open it up, I can tuck it in. Okay, so now I have this rectangle, and these two ends are folded over just a little bit. Now you can have them folded over more if you want shorter wings, or a little bit less if you want them a little bit longer. That's up to you. Now we're going to do exactly like we did on our top fold. We're going to do it on the short piece. Okay, so what do? We need to make our points. So I'm going to go ahead and fold down the corner. I just kind of ignore that that's there. If you really want to cut it off, you could. But there's no need. It can just stay there. I turned it around so it's easier for me to fold it. Okay, so there's my first point. Now I need to make a point up here. And again, I'm turning this so it's easier for me to fold. You turn it whatever way you need to. I like folding up and away from me. And I make another point. Okay, and I'm going to show you, while you try to be exact, like here, it's not quite exact. It's okay. Don't panic, just keep going. I'm now going to fold all of this in half, keeping everything in the center tucked in, and reinforce that center line. Okay, now I need my accordion pleats. I'm going to turn this so that the short end is towards me, and again I'm over here, and I'm going to fold this up towards that long end and smooth it down. I'm going to go ahead and flip it because I want to do the exact same thing on the other side. Keep everything nice and symmetric, and fold her up. And it's a little bit harder to fold because you've got actually multiple layers now, so just do your best. I'm going to go ahead and flip this around now, and I'm only going to fold the topmost layer, the short side, up to the longer side, just the top layer. Okay, there's part of our accordion that's starting to happen. Okay, I'm going to flip it over because I want to do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, but I need to finish my accordion. My inside's not accordion, so I'm going to go ahead and just open this up like a book. And see, I didn't have my fold exact, so don't worry about that. I'll just move it back over. Take the topmost layer, the bottom will come with it automatically, and fold it up into the center this time. Remember, we're making this accordion fold. I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to finish it off by folding that topmost layer up into the center. Okay, so we have, that's what our piece looks like. I got to hold it down so you can see it. That actually makes a cool little bow all by itself, just like that. Kind of like the way that looks. Okay, but I need to make the accordion, so I need to fold it in half, and the easiest way for me to do that is literally, it makes sense when you have it in front of you, is to fold it away from you, and you'll see that you have your nice accordion. Okay, so if we look at it, there's our accordion fold. Okay, and I already had pre-creased that center all the way at the beginning, so it'll make it easy to fold the wings in half. So there is our bottom. Okay, now either side could be your top. I actually, when I look at it, I can tell where all the folds are. I like that inside crease to be my top. Okay, So now what we have to do is take these two pieces, stack them up against one another, and we now need to tie them together. Okay, you can use whatever you want to tie them together. Pipe cleaners work great because you can actually make squirrely antennas. I forgot to pull out pipe cleaners when I decided to make this. I just have a piece of string here. So this is just some yarn, scrap yarn that I have. So I'm going to just match them up so I know where those lines are. Okay. And my yarn, since I'm using yarn, I'm just going to wrap it around a couple times. You don't have to. I just find it's easier. I went off screen, I'm sorry. You're just going to tie a knot to secure everything together. I'll show you what I'm doing in just a second. And I'm just tying a nice square knot. However you need to do that. Okay, I tied my square knot right there in the center on the top of my wing, of my long wing. And the reason for that is I made it, it's really long. I could leave this piece on if I wanted to tie it off, but for right now, I'm just going to cut it short, like little antennae. This little baby antennae here. Okay, and now we have our makings of our butterfly. The top part, we just want to crease it up. The bottom ones, we want to crease down, give it another little crease. And then the reason I wanted that centerfold to be a dip, or what's called a valley, is because I can take my finger and just kind of push it out, if that makes sense. That actually shapes the wings a little bit. Push out right in that center. Push out right in that center. It actually gives it a little bit more form. Okay, so here's this way. If you wanted to keep it folded, I can tuck those back in. And there we have a nice, cute, simple, easy to make little accordion butterfly that we can use on our gifts. This one was just tied with some ribbon that I frayed. Just thought that was kind of fun. Okay. Again, you can do it the traditional way, which is $2 bills for the top and the bottom. And of course that makes a nice gift as long as the person realizes that they're real money. So they don't try to cut it apart, but they actually take it apart and use it. It makes a great gift if you're wanting to give somebody money and you just don't want to stick it in an envelope. You can put that in the card, which makes it really special. So anyways, I hope you like this episode of Crafting with Purple. If you do, please like the video, subscribe so that you get notification. I'll be doing a live broadcast on Periscope July 12th, and hopefully you'll be able to join in on that, and that will also be archived here on YouTube. So, and if you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see, please let me know. You can make comments below. You can Facebook me if you want. I'm at facebook.com/purpleology, PURPLEOLOGY. And you can also email me at Joanne, JOANN, @purpleology.com. Anyways, thank you for watching Crafting with Purple.